Alright, it's Matt here, SwaxOCelebrity.com here on Mike Stud, Port City Music Hall. Mike, first of all, thanks for coming down to Portland.
Oh man, my pleasure.
So for a lot of those people that don't know you out there, just tell a little bit about you, where you come from, how this all got started.
Cool. Yeah, I'm Mike Stud, from Rhode Island originally. Graduated of Duke University, current Georgetown grad school student, but kind of hopped into music by accident, honestly. And one song got popular that I made kind of as a joke, and I've seen a hobby turn into what I do now. So that's where we are. It's been a year. It's been a year since I dropped Stop Music, so it's crazy how how things can change fast. And it's been good.
So you played baseball, dude?
Yeah, I did.
And you got hurt.
You play baseball, right?
I do. I take your yard, so you got hurt. That's how this all started, right?
Yeah, I had Tommy John surgery, big scar.
And was that the goal to maybe get? Did you get drafted?
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't get drafted. That was the goal. That was definitely the plan. Had a successful freshman year there. Was definitely gonna play professionally. Not sure if I would have made it big leagues. You know that's even after you get drafted, it's still a long road. But that was definitely the plan. And then I had major severe surgery. There we are.
So a lot of people out there think that it was just you had that one hit, and then all of a sudden it was in the studio, working with professionals.
Right.
How did A Toast to Tommy, which has been a huge success on iTunes, how did that all come about?
Yeah, it's like honestly half the songs on Toast to Tommy were created when I was still to myself thinking that this is still just a hobby. They made it onto the final project, but I was still making it in my dorm room at Georgetown, and didn't really ever think for a long time. I didn't think this was gonna happen as a career, So there was people think there was a lot of major production value on that album, on the mixtape, but I made it 90% of it in my dorm room at Georgetown, and I had people help me out with post-production a bit, but that's really how it happened. That's it.
So at what point or how long ago did you say wow, this might be my career? When did you say this is actually really happening?
I can't put my finger on one exact time or place when it was happening, but I think the thing that happened was once a booking agency, new agency was the booking agency I signed with. Once they reached out and yo, we want to sign you. Then to me, when that happened, I was like, damn, really? That was only after three or four singles. Once that happened, even after I signed him, I was like, I wondered, I don't think this is actually going to continue, but it has, so I can't really put a finger on it, but I would say towards the end of going into summer, all of a sudden my booking agent's like, yo, we're on this tour, 7-show tour, and getting paid here, and I was just like, all right, well, we might as well run with it, so that's really how it happened. It all just kind of fell into place, honestly.
And there's a couple other notable artists that have come from Duke in the past couple of years now. What's your relationship with any of those guys?
I'm good friends with Mike Posner. We were good friends there, and we talk now. He actually, he's a very busy dude, but he actually went out his way to call me after the Billboard stuff and iTunes stuff. So I think in the near future we're gonna make a record from scratch together. That's kind of where he's obviously on another plateau, but I think we'll be there. I think we'll be there in some time, and he's a good dude. We have a good relationship, so we're gonna make something.
What do you think the biggest differences are between? Obviously, you're a completely different artist, but
right.
Where do you think where you were at Duke and where he was at Duke? Where do you think the separation, the difference is?
Really funny. We signed with the same agent, same booking agency, same agent. I was just at Georgetown, and he was at Duke, but I think he kind of had more of a musical. He has a big musical background, and that was his plan the whole time. So I think once he got his booking agency deal, he was kind of in full stride. Where when I got mine, like I said, I was still a little hesitant about the whole thing. So, but really, we've had different paths. But we're kind of in the same breath. I'm following a bit of his career path, just doing college shows and doing my first national tour, which we're announcing tomorrow. So I feel my career path now is kind of taking shape like his did, and he signed a major with Sony. we plan on doing the same thing in the near future. So hopefully we can do it.
And right now there's obviously a lot of college artists going around. You know, you have Time Flies, Logie, and you've done a lot of work with a lot of those guys. And you know, what do you think? A lot of people say this is just a fad right now. It's, you know, college white rappers and, you know, this whole thing. I mean, do you think that you can legitimately make a full career out of this? I mean, what do you have to say to those people that think this is just a fad?
Right. I think it's more, you know, I think once I started in music, I realized, I was unaware, but I realized that my phone's blowing up. Time Flies? What's his on there? Sam Adams. Damn. Fuck. What were we talking about? No, I didn't realize that there were so many, you know, college musicians until I was one of them, you know. But I think we're the frat rap thing. Like I don't really get, you know what I mean? Like it's just about having fun. Music is about having fun. If we weren't white, it wouldn't be called frat rap. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
So I don't really. I think that's more of like people on the internet just kind of being assholes, like, oh, these kids are white college kids, you know, like. But at the end of the day, if you actually just listen to music, I mean, there's a lot of people that listen to my music. If you listen to the whole album, you weren't just a person who just saw the videos. I mean, a lot of the videos are about the same now. Yeah. The song's about having fun, partying, but like the videos I'm coming out recently, like Sammy Shadow, Bottle It Up, and then Happy Ending, which is coming next, are all very conceptual songs. So I think if you're just making songs about partying in college, you're not going to go anywhere because, you know, it's such a narrow lane. But if you can expand and you can be a complete artist, it doesn't matter like if you're in college, if you're white, you know. So I don't know. I'm not like a huge believer in the frat rap thing. People pin me with that because I said it in a few songs. I've accepted it. I'm not scared to accept that, but I think, you know, I think it just comes down to the artist and the music you put out. If it's good, you'll get your notoriety. You know what I mean? So that's what I'll leave it.
And speaking of the whole frat rap, college rap thing, I mean, there's a couple of different people. Like I said, Mike Posner, and as my phone just went off, Sam Adams. It's sort of taking two different routes. You know, Mike he signed with a label, and now Sam Adams sort of doing his own independent thing, still staying with his friends. You know,
he never signed.
He did.
Scratch that for the record. No, it's not public. It's not actually public. Right? No. He signed with Sony RCA, which is
that's what
RCA. It's a smaller branch of Sony, but it's major. That's why he's on Conan last night.
Yeah, I saw that. And actually, I noticed on the Bull video on YouTube, it said Sony. That's what it is. But I mean, for a long time,
like Mac Miller. Mac Miller says he's not major still. He's doing major things.
Is that your goal, to stay independent, to stay with your friends, and to sort of do what you want to do the way you want to do, or do you see yourself eventually giving in?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not one of those guys that's going to be like, oh, I need to stick to my roots. You know, like, what are my roots? You know, I just started making music a year ago, you know, so I'm trying to be successful, and I'm not going to like completely change my style of music. I'll never do that, but we're talk. You know, I think I'm not going to do what Mac Miller has done, you know, where he just has really not gone major when he's had every opportunity to. I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm going to. It's a day and age where you have to be careful with the major you sign, but when we get a right deal, I'll sign majors. That happens, you know, but I'm not like one of those guys who's like, you know, I'll never sign a major and want to be independent, you know. So we'll see how it goes. Really, you know?
So, one artist you really want to work with?
Just answer your question. Another one. Yeah, you know, a realistic answer, Mike Posner. We have a good connection, and I think our sounds work good together. We had that one track called September, we just jammed the vocals for it, but it wasn't a made from scratch song together, you know, so I think that's like a cool, I'm excited for that. We've talked now, so I'm excited for that, you know. I think we're on different plateaus right now, but I think pretty soon, once I have a ton of new music, I'm waiting. So, I think pretty soon that should happen.
And that leads into my next question. So what's next? Music-wise, mixtape, album?
I have tons of new music. Things have just changed. You know, like I said, I recorded all of Toasted Tommy in my basement, and now I'm recording in like Diggy's studio in Miami. No joke. Like I signed a new management who's, unbelievably connected, and you know, so we're actually finalizing a production deal with a production company, but all my music's been cool. I have about 8 to 9 music. And we're ready to just blast. We're ready to blast off. We should have this deal signed, and once it's signed, we're ready to go. So, and the same Mike Stud you've seen, you know, the songs, the videos, and that's the rest of it. So we're ready to rap. I'm ready to go. It's been 3 months, so I'm ready to go.
All right, last question. Where did the name Mike Stud come from?
It's actually a funny story. People think I'm like a cocky asshole. Well, I'm not really, you know. When we went to Duke, you know, the Duke lacrosse scandal? Once the lacrosse scandal had just happened, and they're like, yo, the athletics department was like, yo, you can't have Facebook. You can't have any social network, public social networks, because people are blackmailing the Duke student athletes. There was tons of drama on it. So we all had Facebook with fake names, and the baseball teams like, yo, we made games out of it. Right? They're like, yo, you need to make a Facebook name that sounds like a porn star name with their same initials. So Mike Stud was perfect. Like, it was a hit. People loved it. I've been Mike Stud on Facebook for almost 6 years now, and when I made my first song, that's a complete joke. They're like, yo, what is your rap name? And I was like, I don't have one. And I was like, my Facebook name's Mike Stud. And they're like, yeah, we like it, let's do it. So honestly, like, I can't. I've asked so many people like when or how I should change it. I think it might just be too late now to change it, but that's just how it's going. You know? So Mike Stud, we're running with it.
Alright, well, swagsoulcelebrity.com. Grab all the Mike Stud tracks and all my great kinds of music. Mike, just want to thank you for coming out. Great time. And,
you know, I can already hear the critics saying, oh, he's so cocky. Oh, so many punchlines, that's all he can do. How can you say that after the tracks I've released, man? It's not just party music, man. But you know